Learn to be super successful. Subscribe to my channel, Meathead. I made sure that the people that he got a job with knew that he was an ex-priest, because ex-priests can get jobs pretty easy, that stole from the church. And I hounded him. And after about, just when he was coming out of bankruptcy, Tim Harris says, Dan, let him go. You've won. No! 2 years later, Dan, let him go. He's in a psychiatric thing. I got his ex-nun's wife to have a miscarriage. We filed on her at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. She had a miscarriage. I mean, I fucking hounded him. Anybody that even befriended him, I fucking took to court. I spent $300 or $400 fucking his life up. Because I let my guard down because he was a priest, ex-priest. I should have known. I should have known if he was an ex-priest, something was wrong. I just fucked that guy for practice. Just fucked him. Even the judge told me to let him go. And there's a thing up there that says, I'll let the cocksucker go when I feel like it. What does it say? One of my prideful things. I'll tell you when I've spent enough legal fees. Keep spending. He says, I mean, what are you getting for all this? I said, satisfaction. When I tell you I'm going to fuck you up, Perjure man, I'm serious. The best 300 and some grand I ever spent. No, it's not, because I've got better stories than that. Okay. Yes, sir. Bam, ba, bam, ba, bam, ba, bam.
Since I'm pretty litigious and...
Oh, you're pretty litigious.
Litigious,
Is litigious the same as litigious?
So litigious, whatever you want to say.
Okay.
And, so I had a litigation with the banks in the past. So now for me it is impossible to run a company in Italy. I cannot do that because it won't...
Well, I don't think you can run a company anyway, but that's... Yeah, yeah, okay. You mean legally you can't?
Legally I can't, no.
You can't borrow any money? No. Okay, well, God moves in mysterious ways.
All right, okay. So I'm going to figure it out somewhere.
Well, no, well, I mean, this works. You don't have to be in Italy to do this. Oh, I'm going to make an announcement, graduation night tomorrow. I asked you to remind me about something else. What was the other thing? Oh, yeah, well, that's another thing announcement I'm going to make. But the... Pardon? How to... Oh, yeah, okay, thank you. So I got 3 things to talk about. Okay, but you can do it well, why can't you do it in France? Well, I mean, they're stupid. Oh, no, he's shaking his head. Don't do it in France. Well, I thought the French had the Italians back, but I guess not. Okay. Remember, they were not our allies during the war, the big war. The Italians just roll like with the wind, you know. By the way, the last commander of the Italian submarine corps was a partner of mine when I first came here in the early 80s. He was related, prince of the church and all this shit. And some of the stories they talk about the submarines, they didn't know how to use the submarines. And he says most of our submarines got sunk when they were on the surface because some of the submarine commanders didn't know how to fucking put them under the water. And I mean, I almost shit myself when he told me that the first time. And apparently, the naval historians, which were still around in the early 80s when I first came here, and he was the president of Gulf Oil Europe, which Gulf sold to, I believe, Exxon or Chevron. And the reason that Chevron bought Gulf Oil is because the CEO of Gulf built a yacht 3 feet longer than the family that owned the majority shareholders of Gulf Oil. 3 feet longer, the yacht. And so they flew to San Francisco and cut a deal with Chevron to sell. As long as you make sure that the CEO doesn't get his pension, he'd been there 31 years. As long as you make sure the CEO, we enjoy all his money, all his properties, and as long as you make sure the CEO dies a broken man. Those are the stipulations, not in writing, you know. And the big time lawyers, they used to represent me. Anyway, in San Francisco said, of course, we can do that. Don't spare any money, they said as they walked out the door. And I could just imagine the litigator's eyes rolling back in their head. Don't spare any money. And so they got after this guy, and he died a broken man, bankrupt, the former CEO of Gulf War, because he built a yacht 3 feet longer than the largest shareholder's yacht. You have no idea how the real world works. And the Vatican is the worst.